Lights down. Volume up. Welcome back to Movie Space. There is something about infidelity on screen that we simply cannot look away from. The lies, the desire, the moment everything starts to unravel. The question of who knows what, who gets away with it, and who does not. Today we are counting down the top 5 modern infidelity movies packed with twists and suspense. Every single one of these films will make you question the choices people make, the secrets they keep, and just how far one secret can go before it burns everything down. Grab your popcorn. Let us get into it. Number 5, Fatal Attraction. Kicking off at number 5, the film that defined an entire genre and made audiences everywhere think twice before making a very bad decision. Fatal Attraction. Directed by Adrian Lyne in 1987, the film stars Michael Douglas as Dan Gallagher, a successful Manhattan lawyer with a beautiful wife, a young daughter, and a life that looks perfect from the outside. But when his family goes away for the weekend, Dan makes one impulsive and catastrophic choice. He spends a weekend with Alex Forrest, a razor-sharp book editor played with terrifying brilliance by Glenn Close. Dan considers it a harmless fling. Alex does not see it that way. Not even close. What follows is one of the most relentlessly suspenseful escalations in cinema history. As Alex's obsession grows darker and more dangerous, Dan's perfect life begins to crack at every seam. Fatal Attraction grossed over $320 million and earned 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. One of the most iconic thrillers ever made, and a perfect opener for this list. Number 4, The Voyeurs. At number 4, a modern erotic thriller that takes the concept of watching to a deeply uncomfortable new level. The Voyeurs. Sydney Sweeney and Justice Smith play Pippa and Thomas, a young couple who move into their dream loft apartment in Montreal. Their windows look directly into the apartment across the street, where a glamorous and complicated couple lives their life entirely on display. What starts as innocent curiosity quickly becomes something far more dangerous. Pippa notices the man across the street, a photographer played by Ben Hardy, is cheating on his partner. Unable to stay silent, she begins to interfere. And the moment she does, a chain of events is set in motion that leads to disaster, betrayal, and one of the most genuinely shocking twist endings of the decade. Directed by Michael Mohan, The Voyeurs asks one deeply uncomfortable question. Is it okay to watch? Critics praise its willingness to go to dark and surprising places, and its streaming performance exceeded Amazon's expectations by a significant margin. Number 3, Babygirl. Coming in at number 3, the most talked about erotic thriller of 2024, and a film that refuses to play by any rules you expect. Babygirl. Nicole Kidman plays Romy, a high-powered CEO with a perfect career, a devoted husband played by Antonio Banderas, and every outward marker of success. But beneath the polished surface, Romy harbors a private restlessness she cannot name and cannot satisfy at home. When Samuel, a young and quietly dominant intern played by Harris Dickinson, enters her orbit, everything shifts. What begins as tension in the elevator escalates into a secret affair that puts her career, her marriage, and her reputation all on the line. Written and directed by Helena Rain, Babygirl is not a simple infidelity story. It is a film about power, desire, and what happens when a woman who controls everything finally surrenders control. Kidman won the Volpe Cup for Best Actress at the Venice Film Festival, with critics calling her performance one of the most brave and layered her entire career. Number 2, Match Point. At number 2, possibly the most chilling and morally sophisticated film on this entire list. Woody Allen's Match Point. Set among the glittering elite of London, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers plays Chris Wilton, a former tennis player who uses charm and ambition to marry into a wealthy family. Life is comfortable. The future is secure. And then he meets Nola Rice, played by a magnetic Scarlett Johansson, who happens to be his brother-in-law's girlfriend. The attraction is immediate, consuming, and deeply dangerous. Chris wants the wealth and comfort his wife represents. He also wants Nola. He chooses both. And the consequences of that choice take the film somewhere no one sees coming. Inspired by Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, Match Point builds toward a final act that is genuinely shocking and morally devastating. Critics called it Allen's most impressive serious work in decades, and a near masterpiece of psychological tension. If you have not seen this film, you are in for one of the most unforgettable endings in modern cinema. Number 1, Unfaithful. And at number 1, the film that made infidelity feel genuinely tragic rather than simply thrilling. Adrian Lyne's Unfaithful. Diane Lane and Richard Gere play Connie and Edward Sumner, a couple living what appears to be a perfect suburban life in New York. A beautiful home, a loving son, a stable marriage. Nothing visibly wrong. On a windy day in Manhattan, Connie collides with a stranger named Paul Martel, a charming French book dealer played by Olivier Martinez. Spontaneous, unpredictable, electric, everything her routine life is not. What starts as a moment of weakness becomes an all-consuming addiction she cannot stop. What makes Unfaithful extraordinary is not the affair itself, but what happens when Edward begins to suspect the truth. The film shifts completely. transforming from a sensual character study into something darker, more violent, and morally far more complex than anything you expect. Diane Lane earned an Academy Award nomination and won Best Actress at Cannes. Roger Ebert called it a marital tragedy, more interested in desire and guilt than cheap thrills. Unfaithful is the undisputed #1 on this list. And there you have it, the top 5 modern infidelity movies packed with twists and suspense, only here on Movie Space. 5 films, 5 affairs, 5 completely different ways for it all to go spectacularly wrong. Drop a comment telling us which one shocked you the most. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop from Movie Space. Until next time, stay in your seat, because the best movies are always yet to come. See you at Movie Space.